Hello guys, welcome everyone for another VOD. Today we're going to be talking about Murovanka map in World of Tanks. Let's get started and not waste much time. So, if you are playing heavies in general, fast heavies with mobility, fast medium tanks with armor, pretty much initial position will be, let's say there's two initial positions on this map you can use. The first initial position will be from this side is playing in C3, C4. That's the initial position in these pushes. Why you play this initial position? To have early shot on this area right here, and also you can shoot whatever gets spotted here or somebody here, you know? That's the first initial position. Later, the rotation will be from this position depends on what's going on here. If the enemy is still here camping, the rotation will be from here going in straight to E1, crossing with your fast heavy and using these buildings here to start working on this area here, using these buildings against this area so you can farm from here, everybody here. However, that's the first initial position and the rotation, and sometimes you might need to stay here all the time. You don't have to move anywhere else and you stay in your initial position only. Most of the times you don't have to do that, but if, let's say, the enemy pushing this line, you're just staying here. That's if you're playing heavy tanks and medium tanks. Now let me give you an example about how this works, and so you can have an idea about what I mean exactly. So let's have a look here. So you started this battle, you got your initial position just like this. From this initial position, you can see what's going on first, and you can have shots left side, this area here, when enemy light tank comes around here, for example. Your rotation will be like this. You continue going like this and try to reach E1 position. You might take one shot, two shot from the enemy on the left side, like this. But as soon as you use these buildings here, you should be fine and safe to start working on them from here. And again, that's only if they are playing somewhere around here. And only if you feel you are losing 9-0 line. Just like that. The second initial position will be going and playing 9-0 line, which is I don't like most of the time. But my favorite is 1-2 line. Let me show you how to do the 9-0 line. You go 9-0 line from a base, you get in here, and there's a spot here as an initial position you use as a hold down white by knocking the tree down. From here, you can spot everything in the back and you can shoot or drop clips and few shots. For example, if you're playing here, you're gonna have really good position, and a little hold on is gonna give you more advantage to be kind of high ground on the enemy team. But absolutely you need to be safe and not mess it up, because enemy tank will be all the way in the back of tank destroyers. So let's see how that works, especially with heavies and medium tanks that has armor. For example, you're gonna be driving like this. And here is your initial position will be on the 9-0 line. Right here. This tree, you knock it down. And you will see stuff going on. For example here. Your rotation will be depends on what's going on. You either staying and fighting here in this area, or you're gonna fall back and go back to B9, and I can show you this right now. This spot is your rotation will be if you feel like you are not actually winning or not feeling comfortable on the 9-0 line anymore. You fall back and come over here. And this spot right here can be your initial position in the beginning of the game too. But usually you need to be forward as I mentioned, to that spot to see what's going on first. Now I'm gonna show you the third initial position on this map as a heavy tank with armor, or medium tank with armor, or even super heavy. It could work sometimes. It just depends on, you know, what's going on. You're driving like this, you take this road like this, and you take the church here. From this church, this building right here, the church we call it, from here you can have good initial position and good cover from your teammates here. From here you can have some shots and be able to shoot everything here. Usually the enemy will go aggressive here and take this area, and from here you can counter them. Now I'll show you how this works as an example. As I mentioned, you need to go in driving like this. Take this road here. You will be spotted right when you hit the area in front of you, but doesn't matter. You have enough time to go and take this church as an initial spot to play on this map, especially when you are playing, let's say, against your arties and there's like you're playing like a super heavy tank. You come in here and you're gonna watch this line and see what's going on. Just like that, and you're gonna counter the entire position. Now, how do you play tank destroyers? Non-armored tank destroyers. Grill or Leo ones. Again, this initial position is very good and it's my favorite initial position to take. C3, C4, I take it with any tank I play, even if it's tank destroyer. Usually I play 1-2-9 Murovanka, is my favorite. But if you're playing tank destroyers, you can sit in the back here, this area, B9. You can come in here, play. You can play C1 here as a tank destroyer, and later all depends what's going on the map. You need to rotate and just kind of go back in the on red line. But usually I would say you play here and here. This area here can be a tank destroyers tanks, like spot, especially non-armored ones like Grill, or even medium tanks like Leos or things like that. But usually this is the medium line. This can be a heavy line too, and this heavy line can be a medium line too. Mainly, this is a heavy line, and this is a medium line, just to keep in your mind. But don't expect only mediums will be here, heavies can be here too. Now, how do you play light tanks on this map from this side? Light tanks, there's two plays to do, is go again here to spot enemy, and going in 1-2 line to spot the enemy and leaving. Pretty much light tanks. Mostly light tanks will focus on 9-0 line. Let me give you just an example on how that works. Absolutely don't want to go that aggressive, but you could in the beginning of the game to spot the 9-0 line tanks going in like this as a light tank. Just like this as an initial position. You might face enemy light tank here, but yeah, that's another idea how to spot with a light tank on this map. Now let's talk about the other side. What do you do? It's kind of same idea, pretty much same idea. Your initial position, first initial position will be here, flank this area, and later your rotation will be like either going in forward to E1, F1, and playing these buildings against all this. Or you're just gonna be staying here as a fast heavy or fast medium tank with armor. So how that work? Let me give you an example. You're driving into your initial position from the first minute of the game and trying to find out what's going on. Now this initial position is going to allow me to do a lot of things. Counter 4 line like this. And you can counter 1-2 line like here too. That's your initial. Now there is another initial position or rotation. This could be something as initial position from the beginning of the game. You can take on Murovanka and very powerful position. It will deny the entire 2 line. What do I mean with that? You will see soon. Drive just like this. And you play this area here. Pretty much you are safe here. You can double push and you can outspot the enemy tanks too. Now you need to be careful when you use it, because you need to be using it really carefully. This is how you counter 2 line, 1-2 line, all of it from this position. Now the second initial position from base 2 is to go in and play 9-0 line, which is I don't recommend a lot to play 9-0 line myself. I always play 1-2 line like I mentioned. But initial will be going in like this and going down here. And you're gonna kinda see what's going on and brawl people. How that works, let me give you an example. Now one thing you don't need to forget about is if you are going down this 9 line, you need to go a little bit right side wide. You don't want to go on the open field this way and you get spotted by light tank and you will lose your HP. You're getting to your initial position, but make sure you don't go forwards more than that. Especially in the beginning, you get here and this is your initial will be. That's how it works. You don't want to push down in this dip. Do not do that, it's a mistake. Here where you're gonna start brawling. Now from base 2 initial positions, 2 line and the 9 line. What about the church? If you ask, church from this side is kinda useless a little bit more than the other side. The other side it gives you advantage to counter from here, this line. The church from this side it doesn't give you anything besides playing these pushes here and spotting this area here and farming it. Everything like that is not gonna give you anything else, but it can be useful too. It depends on what's going on in the match or what kind of lineup the enemy has. Let me show you what I mean with that. You're driving in middle to the church as your initial position, and let's find out what this position can give you. Most of the time you'll counter this area here. But as I said, is not very recommended from this side. Spotting with light tanks from this side is going to be the same from the other side. Usually 1-2 line spotting, but from this side you don't have to go straight to a 2 line with a light tank. You can just go E1, as I mentioned, the initial position for fast tanks such as heavies or medium tanks with armor. You can use this as a light tank too to spot and run away. Now from the other side is gonna be, from this side it's still gonna be 9-0 line spotting, just normally like the other side, spotting and leaving. Let me give you an example on a 2 line or 1 line at least. As you see, you can spot enemy here and give infos for your team about what's going on this line, and you can leave after that. Now we're gonna go and try to do the spotting on a 9-0 line with a lighting. Is going here. I'm running away. Usually you hit this area, you're gonna face the enemy light tank too from the other side. So let's give it a try. You're driving towards your initial position as a light tank to give infos and see what's going on as spotting from the first minute. Usually here you're gonna face the enemy light tank, but since let's say there's no light tank, you can go a little bit deeper, spot, and leave. But yeah, don't make the run I made. Just an idea about how this works from this position here. Hopefully this was a helpful details about positions and initial positions in specific classes like this, but wait a second, did we forget about tank destroyers? No, we did not forget about tank destroyers. Tank destroyers on this map specifically is simple. It just sitting in the back, sitting red line here, red line here, red line here, or 1-2 line tank destroyers play will be playing here. This initial position we just mentioned earlier, this can be used as a tank destroyer too. And you're playing H1 right here, up here. Sorry, G1. G1 right here. This is where tank destroyers will play, right here and right here. Let me give you an example about it by marking it on the map. The blue markers here, that's where tank destroyers will play. These are the positions where tank destroyers can play. From the other side, I'm gonna put you markers, the green markers. Tank destroyers play here, tank destroyers play here, tank destroyers play here, and we play right here. This is how you play tank destroyers on Murovanka, sorry. So yeah, I hope so this was really helpful for you guys to help you improve in your gameplay on this map specifically from both sides. And if you like what you're watching, please drop a subscribe to the channel and follow us on twitch.tv/German_Tutors for more live streaming and gameplay by using the same positions we've been mentioning all the time. So yeah, hopefully you have a good day everyone. I'll see you soon on another VOD. Take care and have a good one.